welcome to another monthly reset video. It is the last weekend of March, and honestly, I can't believe that it's about to be April. I feel like it was just January and I was just starting my new job and things were changing and a whole new chapter of my life was about to begin, and here we are in April. We've already made it through the first quarter of 2025, and spring is slowly approaching. We still haven't had the best spring weather. It's been really cold at night. I am still running my heat at night, but today it's supposed to be warm, although it's supposed to be a little rainy and cloudy, so I'm hoping I get a chance to go outside later today. But I was just making a list of all the stuff that I have to do this weekend, and my number one priority that I'm gonna do first after I chat with you is finish this work learning. So I volunteered myself to do our team learning, and it can be about anything. And this was like suggested to me because I was talking about how I like learning and that I really like learning about history. And they're like, oh, you should do a learning. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? And I decided that I was going to make a presentation that's very high level about the 6 Whys of Henry VIII. And I thought our meeting was not this Monday, but next Monday. So I thought I had a lot of time left. And it turns out that our meeting's actually this Monday. So I spent all day yesterday during work working on that. And I still have a couple things I needed to check, just to want to double check everything, fact check everything, make sure I got all the dates right. So I definitely need to do that because even though I technically have time on Monday because our meeting's in the afternoon, I don't want to wait until the last minute in case another project comes up at work. Then I have to work on that and then I won't get to work on it. So that's like the number one thing that I need to do today. I also never put away any of the decoration boxes that I got out in storage. There's also a lot of other cleaning stuff to do, a lot of tidying, and then of course there's like the April goal setting, and then I will share my favorites from the past month and just do some reflection, things that I'm looking forward to. There's actually a lot of fun things that we have planned coming up, so I'm gonna take you along with me. And Kevin is gonna come home from work around 12:30, and we might get some extra spring cleaning task in today because it's supposed to be warm. So I'm excited about that. We might try to clean the grill because we are looking forward to grilling season and grilling meats and vegetables and all sorts of stuff. So we'll see how it ends up being today. It's supposed to rain now, so who knows? But I'm gonna get started on doing my work project and finishing that up, and I will chat with you later. This needs to be organized, and this is also really critical. Next up, Mario, I'm ready for a food check-in. Okay, food check-in time. Have you eaten? Starving and not having enough time to eat. And now I was scrounging in the kitchen, and it was not in the kitchen. So if y'all also want to make your lives a little easier with Factor, you can head to Factor75.com. I'm in the middle of looking at my goals, and this is going to be a little bit longer than normal because we are at the end of the first quarter, moving into the second quarter of the year. And I just want to point out that I can't do anything because Lady Kitty is sitting on the page that I am supposed to be writing on. So she's just sitting here purring. She was sitting on my lap. So I might move over to this page, but apparently she needs some attention. But I was just curious if anybody else has pets or cats that will just come and sit on top of them and sit on exactly what you're trying to work on, so to the point that you can't finish your work. so I got my goal planning done and I realized that I never finished my yearly goal planning, like putting it in my Power Sheets goal planner. I did plan it out a little bit and then I never finished it. So when I was looking through my my first quarter reflection and reworking my goals and stuff, I was really confused. I was like, oh, I thought I completed this and I didn't. But I didn't feel like doing that today. So I have them, like, I definitely have everything up here and I wrote out what they were, but I never went through the process of listing them and then listing each goal in the category, which is typically how I plan my goals. So I have health and wellness goals, YouTube goals, work, career stuff, house stuff, and then, recreation or personal growth or relationships or whatever the category is. So some of them are habits, some of them are to-dos that I can completely check off. Sorry, Toulouse is like pawing at me because he wants me to pet him. Anyway, and then some of them are just systems, like building systems and building things out. So I never really like went through the whole process just because I was busy with starting my new job and everything with my grandparents. So eventually I'm probably gonna have to figure that out. But since I kind of have it all like up here saved, like I've gone over it so many times in my head that I know, it's like I know what I need to do because I'm so focused on it and it's stuff that I've wanted to do for so long. I'm not really concerned about putting that in there right now. I just ended up going through and setting goals for March, doing some reflection, which I'll get to later. And I think I mentioned this in my last couple monthly resets, but I am not going to be sharing my goals that I set until after they happen. There's this scientific thing where if you share your goals, then the sharing it makes it seem like it's already happened and you're less likely to do them. So I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm just going to tell you later if I achieved them or if I didn't. And I know I went through some stuff in February. And I'll be honest, that February reset, most of those goals didn't get completed or didn't get finished because I was dealing with grief and just a lot very like depressing time in my life. So we're not even going to bother going over those. But anyway, I am going to do my daily cleaning. So as I was editing my video the other day, I realized that I never finished my reflection or reviewed and sat down and chatted with you. And it has been very busy, very crazy. Work has been very busy. It is 8:30 at night, 8:26 at night, and I have to wake up early to go to work tomorrow. But I wanted to get this out of the way. I wanted to chat with you before I went to bed because I'm just feeling guilty about not getting this video out on time. So I feel like this video is going to get out like 2 weeks after April started. So some of the favorite memories that I wrote down is that Kevin and I went on a date night. We went to the Strip District in Pittsburgh and we went to a bookshop and we got some books and we also got coffee at this coffee shop called De Fure, I think is how it's pronounced. I will put it up somewhere up here if you want to check it out, but they had really, really good coffee. We walked around the terminal a little bit and then we ended up getting pizza at Ironborn Pizza. We got white pizza and we got their spicy meat pizza and it was really, really good, but so big, so we had to take that home. It was a really nice day outside, so it was nice to go outside and just go for a walk and spend some quality time together because we haven't really done something like that in a long time. We've kind of just been hibernating indoors, and as you know, if you're not new here, and you've been watching all my videos, I didn't have a job for a whole year, so we couldn't really do things like that. So it was exciting to finally be able to go out and buy books and do fun things. So the other thing that I enjoyed doing in March was making strawberry simple syrup for my cold brew, and I still have some left in the fridge. I haven't been going as hard on cold brew as I normally do, and for the last like 2 weeks I've been doing a challenge, which you are going to see in a short YouTube video series coming up. I'm not going to give it away yet. I haven't really been needing to drink coffee in the afternoon, so I still have some left, and eventually I'm going to make some cold brew and use up that simple syrup. Kevin and I went on another date to this place called Moonlit Burgers. We go there a lot. Every year they have a Moon Rock Shake, which is like a knockoff of McDonald's Shamrock Shake, and I always get that. And it was kind of bittersweet this year because, as some of you may know if you've been watching my videos, my grandfather passed away in February. And when I was a kid growing up, him and I going to McDonald's to get fries and a Shamrock Shake was our thing. So when I went to the restaurant and sat at the counter and got it, I was a little emotional because it just made me think of him. And so it was definitely like a sweet moment, this year to get that and like kind of do something that reminded me of him and having his spirit live on through me in a Moon Rock Shake. I did have a favorite outfit from March, and I decided that I wanted to create an outfit inspired by Serena van der Woodsen from Gossip Girl season 1, episode 1, when she's in the train station. And I didn't go out of my way to make this outfit. I was trying to figure out ways I could use things in my closet that I haven't worn. And I just noticed that some of the stuff that I had kind of matched what she was wearing. So I'm going to put it up on the screen as I always do with my favorites so you can see what I'm talking about. I ended up wearing this to work. The camel coat she was wearing, the stripes, the scarf, that's kind of what I was trying to get out of this outfit, but also making it corporate and making it work for me because I'm petite and Serena is very, very tall. So the bottom half, like the bottom pants that she was wearing, wouldn't work for me. So I made it work for my body type. And another fun memory I had was I made banana bread. I have this banana bread recipe that I make all the time. And I ended up making it and I gave most of it away. It made 2 whole big loaves. So I kept half of it and I gave the other stuff away to our friends just because I wanted to bake, but I didn't want to keep all the stuff at home, and Kevin doesn't really eat sweets, so I ended up giving it away to people as a gift, and they really appreciate it, so it was fun to do something for myself that I enjoyed, but also to give others like a sense of joy as well as from a homemade baked good. So some of the steps that I'm proud of, I published my work-life diaries twice in March, so I'm trying to get back into the habit of uploading. I don't think I'm ever going to get back to doing weekly uploads because it's just too hard to do with my full-time job and then living my life and taking care of myself and all the other things. Maybe every other week would be nice. But I got that done, I got my taxes done, and then I did my spring reset, which is a video that I just uploaded a couple days ago. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check that out after you watch this video. I'm drinking some tummy tea out of my new Joann's mug. I've been trying to introduce tummy tea to help with my digestion and kind of like reduce bloating and stuff because I've been having some issues lately. So I've been drinking this before I go to sleep and it really helps. Goals that are growing well. And I did not share my goals this year. I don't even really think I shared that much in the February reset because for January I didn't really set anything because so much stuff was going on. I started my new job. I knew my grandfather wasn't doing well. My grandmother wasn't doing well. She's still not doing well, but she's hanging on despite losing her husband. So I didn't really have a lot of goals, and I'm still kind of getting back into the habit of setting those after taking a break, after taking time off, after grieving. So this month is where I really set some hard goals. What's going well so far is just getting that minimum upload to YouTube. I'm trying to do at least 2 videos a month. I would love to do 3 or 4, but I'm just doing the best I can with my full-time job. Career and work learning is going very well. I feel like I'm really excelling in this new role. I really love it. I got my SAFE certification. If you watched I think it was my last work-life diaries, I mentioned that I was taking a SAFE certification during work and I was taking that course. If you're not familiar with that, it stands for Scaled Agile Framework. It's just like a project management methodology, very similar to Agile or Kanban, or I mean, there's so many different like versions of this out there, but that's what my company is trying to gear towards. So they want everyone to take the certification, they pay for it, you have to pass a test. And I was able to get that. So now I am SAFE certified and I'm a SAFE practitioner for teams. So that's going well. I feel like my personal growth and learning is really going well. I had anticipated on having to take the Google project management course and paying for that myself, but because of taking this certification at work and some of the other stuff that work is offering, I'm able to spend my work hours, like carve out a couple hours a week dedicated toward learning. It's actually a part of my goals on this team. It's 5% of my yearly goals. So they give you time, and so I don't have to use my free time to do that. So in my free time, I've been doing other fun things. So that's going really well. And then what I read or listened to. So because I am feeling a lot better with just like my life in general, I'm more stable with my job. I have a stable income check now because I'm working again, and I'm really happy in my job, and all the areas of my life are going well, despite like the family situation, obviously, with like grief. I feel very comfortable, very little stress other than, losing my grandfather, etc. So I've been reading a lot. So in March, I read Margaret of Austria by Rosa Gaston. That was pretty good. It was a fictional book, and I read one of her books before about Anne of Brittany, I believe, and she was married to King Louis of France, but before that she was married to another king of France, I think. I think she married Charles of France and then Louis of France. I think. I'm not one, don't quote me on that. But I've read one of her books before. The other one I thought wasn't that great. I thought this one was a lot better. This is the first time I've really read a book about Margaret of Austria. She probably isn't very familiar to most people, but she does have ties with Anne Boleyn, who's a little bit more of a known historical figure. She actually had Anne at her court for a while. So that book was pretty good if you like historical fiction, especially about women. That might be interesting to you. And the other book that I read was The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop, and I really love this biography. Going into this, I really didn't know anything about Kelly Bishop other than she played Emily in Gilmore Girls and that she was in Dirty Dancing. That is all I knew. So I learned a lot about her. I learned about her ballet background, her dance background, and just a lot about her personally. And I really enjoyed her stories and like her commitment to like just excel through her life. And she is very similar to me in a lot of ways. Like, she is definitely an affirmations, like if you put it out there, the universe is going to give it to you type of person. And that's kind of how I am with stuff. So I thought that was interesting that we kind of had that in common. And I finally finished Garden Spells by Sarah Allen Addison, I think is the name. And I started this in the fall. If you watched my fall reset video, I mentioned I got this book and I started reading it, and I just could not finish it because it was just not my type of book. I thought it was good, but it was too cliche, too romancy. It just, I don't know. I don't like romance books. I don't mind a little romance in books, but romance books, it was just too predictable. And I think that's what I didn't like about it. And it is supposed to have like some spooky supernatural tones to it. And even that was like kind of cliche. So it wasn't a bad book. It just is not a book that I tend to go for. It wasn't type of like my witch book. Like, I like reading books about witches or people that have like magical powers or fantasy, and this just wasn't my thing. So it was still good. It just wasn't my type of book. And I started rewatching Gossip Girl. The actress that played Georgina, Michelle Trachtenberg, could be pronouncing her last name wrong. If I am, I apologize. She passed away about a month ago, and that I was like, oh, that I should, it just made me want to watch Gossip Girl. So I've been re-watching Gossip Girl. I love Blair. She's my favorite character. And then, of course, I got that Serena inspiration. So it just seemed like a good time to do another binge rewatch of Gossip Girl. There's actually a few songs I've been listening to a lot this past month. This section says songs on repeat, and do not judge. You know what? Go ahead and judge. I really don't care if you do. But I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. I don't know. It's been stuck in my head. I've been playing it over and over again. To be honest, that's one of my all-time favorite songs. It's just like, it's so good. And it was like the theme song in that movie called The Fall Guy that was on Amazon Prime. And we watched that, and it was already stuck in my head. And then I watched that movie, and now I can't stop listening to it. I like to dance to that while I'm cleaning. So I've been listening to that a lot. And then this is something that I probably repeat all the time, and I just listen to it so much. But the Daisy Jones and the Six album, I'm constantly repeating that album since the TV show came out. I do have the book and I started it, but I never finished it, and I think this year is going to be the year that I finished it. But I wanted to take time from watching the TV show and like forget about the TV show a little bit to read the book, because I didn't want to like completely compare them to each other. So now that it's been probably a year since I rewatched Daisy Jones and the Six on Amazon Prime, I feel like it's a good time to read the book. Some things that I'm really grateful for is feeling motivated again. I feel like I'm getting out of my grief. I feel like I'm getting into routine. I'm feeling confident at work, and I'm kind of like feeling like myself again. So that's one thing that I'm really grateful for. Spring weather. Except for today, we got snow. I woke up and there was snow outside, and it was 27 degrees, and it is April 8th. Yeah, that's insane. So the warm weather isn't quite there yet. I have not been going for a lot of walks recently just because it's been too cold. So I'm hoping the warm weather fully gets here so I can enjoy the outside time. And then I always say Kevin and my cats because, my cats are amazing. I love my cats, and so is Kevin. So things that are not going well is my spending summary, YouTube growth, and daily movement. I have a personal spending summary that I did when I got laid off, and I stopped doing it because I couldn't look at the fact that I didn't have any income. And so I knew I wasn't spending that much at all because I was just paying for my bills, basically. I just didn't want to track it. It was just too much. And now that I have income, I want to start tracking again because I have financial goals that I set this year. So I need to know how much I'm spending. Can I afford to treat myself here and there to some things that I want? There's a couple things that have been on my to-buy list prior to getting laid off, since 2023, basically, before I got laid off. And there's things that I want to get back into doing. And like I said, Kevin and I have been going on some dates and stuff because now I finally have cash flow to do that. So I want to track it. I want to see how much money I have left over. I want to start putting things back in a high yield savings account again and paying extra on my student loans, things like that. And YouTube growth. Yeah, YouTube is not going that great right now. I've been trying to figure out why. I think one, I stopped posting as often as I did and I took a break. And I know that definitely affected the algorithm. And then I stopped doing the unemployed diaries, which was like what grew my channel. And I moved moved into the work life diaries, but I'm still losing views. So all the videos that I've made so far this year are not doing anywhere close to what they used to be doing. And I don't even mean it views wise, I just mean engagement wise. Like, I've noticed a lot of people are not returning to the videos. So I have 1,070 subscribers, and most of my subs aren't watching my videos. So I'm trying to do the videos that I did before, like the resets, and I did like some random fall and spring vlogs and morning routines and stuff like that. And then I did talking head videos, which the talking head videos are harder to do now because those are very, very scripted and research and organize, and then I have to set everything up in my room, and editing them takes a lot of time. So it's hard for me to get those videos out now. So I need to find a way to start doing those again, because those also brought in a lot of views. Like, those were the heavy hitters, and then the vlogs kind of like kept people coming back. Not posting for a while, taking a break, not posting as much, changing the series, I think is really affecting the engagement and the views. So it's like, yeah, I'm monetized and I have 1,000 subscribers, but I basically have to build my base all over again. So I basically have to redo everything all over again. So if you think that I'm making any money from the fact that I've been monetized since November, guess what? I'm not making any money. That's another story for another time. I do plan on doing a talking head video about things you may not know about being a YouTuber. That's been on the list for a while. So that's everything from March, all of my reflections, some of my favorites, how my goals are going, and everything like that. So I hope you enjoyed this monthly reset video. Just a heads up, if you are interested in the Power Sheets Goal Planner, which is the goal planner I use to plan my goals, there is a discount code in the description box, and I do get a small commission from that if you make a purchase. So let me know in the comments below how you're doing, what you're looking forward to in April, how your spring is going. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.